Oklahoman Newsroom. This is a Varsity Update. I'm Jenny Carlson here in studio with Cameron Jourdan, high school sports writer. Cam, we have come to the last week of the regular season for high school football. I don't know how it happened so fast, but here we are. Lots of districts still with lots to be decided even in this last week. And prime among them involves a couple of powerhouses at 5A, Carl Albert and McGinnis, right?
Yeah, big District 5A2 rivals, and that's going to be a really pivotal game because, like you said, not only is that game, it's just a rivalry game. Those two have gone back and forth, including playing for a couple of state titles in 2016 and 2017. But it just seems that those two teams are always at the top. They're the perennial title contenders in Class 5A. The winner of this game gets a leg up, not only going into the playoffs, but it's probably your title favorite coming out of this week, comes Friday night, when whoever the winner is. There's a couple different scenarios coming out of this game that could happen. With a McGinnis win, McGinnis is going to be the district champion. Carl Albert would drop to third and not host a first-round playoff game, which would be a little bit wild considering that it's Carl Albert, three-time defending state champs, and they were on a 40-game win streak. But if Carl Albert wins by 10 points or more, it's going to be the district champion. If Carl Albert wins by 9 points or less, McGinnis will still be the district champion. So that's where district points come into play, because if Carl Albert wins, McGinnis, Piedmont, and Carl Albert would all have one district loss and it'd go to a three-way tiebreak. And like I said, 10 or more, Carl Albert's your district champion. Piedmont would be in third. If it's 9, if they win by 9 or less, McGinnis is your district champion. So that's definitely, it's a lot of stuff going on in 5A.
And clearly, a win for Carl Albert is of the utmost importance. They got to get that victory if they want to host. And in 5A, you want every advantage you can get. So clearly, that's huge. In 6A, there's some interesting games involving a district that, frankly, Cameron, it has not been up for grabs in years. The East Side has dominated this district, and now Edmond Santa Fe has a legit shot to be a district champ.
Yeah, it's going to be Santa Fe's first chance to win a district title since 2012, and the big thing, like you said, they've taken care of. They won at Broken Arrow. They won at Jinx last week. I mean, Edmond Santa Fe is just playing outstanding. Talon Schetcher, a sophomore wide receiver who was the Oklahoman staff choice for Player of the Week this week. He had 8 catches, 180 yards, 3 touchdowns, including the game winner, 89 yards, and then also had the game-clinching interception, and Santa Fe ran out the clock with about 4 minutes left. But they're facing a Norman team that lost to both those East Side teams, but with this win could still get as high as number 2 in the district. So Broken Arrow plays Enid. With Broken Arrow cannot finish lower than second with a win. The only way it's going to finish second, though, is if Edmond Santa Fe beats Norman. Edmond Santa Fe beats Norman, it's the district champ. It's the number 1 seed in that district. Mm-hmm. If Norman wins, though, Santa Fe could fall all the way to 4th, but you could have a 3-way tie off of district points with Norman, Jinx, and Edmond Santa Fe all having 2 district losses. So like you said, there's a whole lot of different shuffling that could go on in that game. Right. It's going to be really interesting, though, to see how that one turns out, just because Santa Fe's had so much success against the East this year. It's really, if you want to say, it could be the battle of who is the top team in the west side of the state is what this could come down to.
It's crazy, though, to think Edmond Santa Fe could have that success, win those games that nobody's beat those 2 teams in so long in the same year. And they might finish 4th in that district, Cam. Thanks. There's your prize, Edmond Santa Fe. That's crazy. Another 6A2 battle that this is for a district championship because these two are undefeated. Del City goes to Stillwater. Stillwater's still undefeated, total 9-0 at this point, trying to get into the playoffs, undefeated. This is a pretty good matchup to determine that district champ in, what are we looking at, 6A2?
Yes, it's 6A2 Division 1. And, like you said, it's going to be a splendid matchup. Not that you got to give credit to Stillwater. They're fantastic. Their offense is probably one of the top 5, if not top 3 in the state. And that's another thing, who they're likely, if they make it to the state title game, are going to line up playing. Bixby has another top offense, and that's what it was last year as well. But they're going to face a Del City defense that is dynamic. It's really strong at getting to the ball, great at tackling, great at pursuing, great at everything. So it's going to be the best defense that Stillwater's offense has played all year. I'm really interested to see how that matchup is going to shake out. But it's also going to be the first time that we've really seen an offense be able to test Stillwater's defense, because if you look at Stillwater's schedule, they just haven't played that top-tier opponent yet. They've been waiting for this game the whole time. That's just how their schedule fell out this year, so you can't blame them for that. But Del City is really going to give Stillwater a challenge because Quinlan Ganther, their quarterback for Del City, he is a great dynamic athlete. He can throw the ball really well. He can run the ball really well. I talked with Coach Mike Dunn a couple days ago, and even Quinlan has grown so much from the beginning of the year to now that Del City's going to have to play a really strong game, don't get me wrong, to knock off Stillwater. But that one is going to be really interesting. So like you said, the winner, the winner's going to be able to host in the first round. The loser has to probably face Bixby in the second round. So
Wow, some tough roads. And by the way, check out Cameron's top 10 games on Oklahoman.com. He's got several games involving undefeated teams that didn't even make the top 5. So there's some really great matchups to determine district championships, district standings, and then obviously where are the playoffs, how they set up. We'll continue to have that coverage as we head into the weekend and next week. So be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at Oklahoman.com and every day in the Oklahoma.